Hey everyone, North Central here. Thanks for tuning in. You know, it's been a while since I've had a video. I think it's been a couple of weeks, and it's been even longer since we've been down here in the basement doing any type of gardening or something down here, talking about gardening. So what I want to do is I'm going to give you a quick review of what we got going over here to my left in the hydroponic setups that I have, and then we're going to get into what I have up on the table behind the camera and look at the different things that I've planted for going outside in the Burpee extra large planters, and talk about some of those things. So stick around. Okay, so this is the Burpee Vivian romaine lettuce, and it is doing absolutely fantastic. Now this lettuce is about a month and a half old, maybe closer to 2 months. And it is in the floating raft, which you can see this just moves back and forth and floats. Doing really well. Now there is one way up there in the end that I cut off yesterday and had myself a very nice salad. But this stuff is great. I'm going to hear about the next week or two. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out of here, put them in the refrigerator, refrigerate them, maybe give a couple of them to some friends and stuff, and then I'm going to start some new ones. So. But these are doing very nicely. Let me give you a downward look at these. Okay, so there's the downward look inside of it. Of course, these being the older leaves here on the sides, the big ones. And then on the inside, you see all the new growth going on. So I'm going to let the insides go ahead and just grow right on out before I really cut these. It ought to take a couple weeks. But very nice, beautiful green plants. Let's go ahead and take a look at the root system. Okay, so there you can see the roots. Very nice and white, very healthy looking. Oh yeah, that's a fantastic looking root system. My son doesn't like it when I come down here and show roots like this. He says they look like cobwebs and they're scary. But just a great looking. Overall, great looking plant, great looking roots. And they are great tasting. So, a success for the romaine lettuce. Okay, so up here on the tabletop, underneath the lights here, these are my extra large Burpee growing systems. And here in the front, all these plants here, these are all the West Virginia 63s tomatoes that I planted. And I put, since they're an heirloom and I wasn't for sure, it's my first time actually growing them from seed, I wasn't for sure exactly how they were going to do. So I took the seeds out last season, or at the end of the season, saved them, go ahead and planted them, and I'm telling you what, almost every single seed came up. I put 3 to 4, most of these just 3, every once in a while I put 4 seeds per little square, and almost every one of them came up. I'm going to give this almost a 98 to 99% germination rate. I mean, these little things did absolutely great. I was really impressed. But one thing that I need to do is go through these and thin them out, because I've got 3 to 4 plants growing in each one of these, and I don't want that. I only want one. So I'm going to go ahead with my trusty little pair of scissors here and thin these out real quick before we go on. Now, one thing that I like to do whenever I start to try and thin these out is, of course, you want to try and pick out the best plant, right? And some of the characteristics of these plants that I really look at, there's a whole bunch of them, there's 4, is I look at trying to find the ones that's got the stems that are the straightest, the leaves, especially at this age of the plant. I like the leaves to be nice and straight, okay, instead of curly-cued. And if there's one like this that didn't get out of the seed very well, or the leaves are a little like this one here, they've got little cuts and stuff in them, you know, I'm going to cut those out. So this one right here is the one that I'm going to save. The leaves are nice and straight, they're not crinkled, there's no cuts in them, got a very nice straight stalk, and that's the one that I want. And those are kind of some of the characteristics that I try and pick out. So let's get back down to business. Okay, so that looks a whole A lot better. So let's go ahead and move up and take a look at the other rows. Okay, so these 8 right here are the Steakhouse tomatoes from Burpee. These are the hybrid steakhouses, the one that gets 2 to 3 pounds. So I went ahead, whenever I do a hybrid tomato, especially one that's new, usually I just plant one seed, okay? And as you can see, one seed came up in all of them except for one. So that's 8 different squares here. So that's probably somewhere around an 85% germination rate, which is, I don't know, which was really isn't too bad. But I'll just leave this one right here out. It'll give the rest of them more room anyways. Now, if you move over here to the right side, in these 8 squares, this is where I planted the super sauce tomato. Now, these are from Burpee as well. However, these were almost 2.5-year-old seeds, okay? So none of those came up, and they weren't actually stored properly. I just kind of threw them in a drawer. Usually whenever I try to save seeds for a long term, I either freeze them or I put them in a refrigerator, and I didn't do either to these seeds. None of them came up. I put 2 seeds per square. None of them came up whatsoever. So I do have some more of these super sauce seeds on order from Burpee. Hopefully I should get them sometime within a week or so, and then I'll go ahead and sow these, and maybe I'll bring you along when I sow these into here. But they're gonna the rest of these plants are definitely gonna have a jump start on these super sauce, but maybe not too much. Okay, in the next tray over, I have my peppers that I'm going to be growing. Okay, now in this front 16, I have some sweet relish peppers, and I've got a bunch of them coming up. This in here, if you can see that green against the brown there, has already come up. And then there's a couple other ones here where I can just see the stems starting to pop up through. So within a day or two, this should be pretty much full of peppers. Now let's go from here and switch right over to the back. Okay, so right here, these are the Blazing Banana Hungarian wax peppers, this 8 row right here. And I can see stems coming out of almost all of them. These are here, of course, have already come up. As you can see, the green on the brown. Here's a stem, here's a stem. So nothing in this one, and this one, and I bet I could probably dig down just a little bit and find a stem. Oh, there's a stem there. So they're coming. Peppers generally take somewhere between, I don't know, 10, 15, 16 days, something like that, to actually germinate and start popping up through, where tomatoes, especially with these heat mats that I have up underneath these things, generally tomatoes come up within about 3, 4, 5 days. Peppers anywhere from 10 to 15. With the heating mats under them, you can sometimes cut that in half a week, something like that, but they're still a slow grower. So it doesn't surprise me that not all of them are up. Now what did surprise me was the Big Dipper bell pepper. Okay, none of them has come up yet at all. And I actually dug down in here a little bit and looked at the seeds, and the seeds haven't sprouted, haven't done anything. So I got those last year, and I really wasn't impressed with the ratio that they came up last year either. Now they were from Burpee, and maybe I just got a bad pack, maybe I don't know, but they didn't come up very well. So I'm going to go ahead and replant here and try and get some peppers to come up anyways. Okay, so like I said, the Big Daddy bell peppers didn't come up, so I got to replant this. I've already got my holes back down in here. I'm just going to leave the original Big Daddy seeds in here, and what I'm going to be putting in their place are these right here. These are the Burpee sweet peppers. They're California Wonders. They are a heirloom seed, so that's one thing that I like. I can actually get the seeds out of these bell peppers and be able to use them for next year. But this is what I'm going to be planting. I'm going to put 2 seeds per. It's really pretty easy. Those pepper seeds are really pretty large if you take a look at them. So 2 seeds, just grab 2, plop them in, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and last but not least, 2. Ah. Rest of them in the pack here. If I remember right, with these Big Daddy bell peppers, I had an issue with them last year as well, not coming up and doing what they were supposed to do. But that's neither here nor there now. The holes are 1/4 inch down. Just cover them up, give them a little pat. Pat, little pat. Something like so. And then we're just going to let these things do what they do. These are the self-watering planters. So watering's done, boys. Okay, just to give you a little bit of the hydroponics that I got going on here. This is supposed to be for the 3rd floating setup that I have. However, I haven't got it filled up because I don't have a light system. This light system here that I have, it's on this here, was supposed to go for it. However, comment was starting to get late, and I just went ahead and switched it over and put it up here on the tabletop so I could grow the tomatoes and the peppers and all that. This is this. I'll give you a close-up if I can keep it on the screen. Okay, Burpee Lettuce. This is called the Little Gem. As soon as it focuses it in there it is. The Little Gem. Thought I'd give that a try as another type of lettuce. It is a 45-day to maturity lettuce, so not too bad. These have already got the roots dropping down out of them, going into the water solution down below. See if there's another one. I can show you. See the root there? You see that right there? Okay, back here in the back here. This is just some more spinach that I've got. And this one right here really came up early. I was really surprised. It came up within about 3 days. These two right here came up about a week later, and none of the rest of them did. Again, you know, the spinach that I got is not a Burpee. It's an off-brand that I got for like 99 cents. I thought I'd try it out. And this is what I get for trying it out. Not hardly any of it's come up. So I won't be getting any more of this type of spinach. However, the lettuce, every single one of them came up. I put 2, maybe 3 seeds done in each one, and each one of them had 3 come up. These are growing really, really fast. I'm really, really happy with them. They've been down here for about 2 weeks. This is where they're at. They're just in the water solution. There's no soil, so it's hydroponic. So as soon as I can get the money back up to go ahead and build another light system, I'll go ahead and get the 3rd floating system up in order and put all this in it. Until then, while I am cutting or harvesting the Vivian lettuce over in the first float box, the one that actually floats on top, I will replace that with these. So that's pretty much it. That's what I've got going on downstairs. We're just waiting for everything to grow. So until next time, this is North Central. Thanks for watching.